Hello lovely people, I know it's a very weird angle, but today we will be talking about these little things. Voltmeters for your car. So we're going to start this video talking about voltage in general and about voltmeters, and we're going to finish up talking about these little things, which are LF audio HPVM, which is high precision voltmeters. Most of the time when I want to review something, it's kind of my passion thing. Probably in my career in YouTube, only a few times it happened that somebody offered to send me something. 99% of the time I am asking for something, so I did reach out to LF Audio because I'm a geek, I'm a nerd technology wise, and I like the stuff that LF Audio makes. If you know, they're most popular probably for their remote bass knobs, which I don't use that in my car because I don't use it. I have a Helix controller that I can control the volume and I don't need it. But voltmeters I'm kind of fascinated about because I was looking for a good one for a very long time. So in this video I'm just gonna blab about voltmeters in general for a few minutes now, and then we're gonna I guess we're gonna do a review of these because I want to show you why they're so cool and in my opinion why they're worth the money. So in my system I have two voltmeters. One is here and the other one is on the other side. Now one of them is on because it's directly connected. I don't know if you can see, it shows 14.1 volt. This one is directly connected to my lithium battery in the back, and this one for the front. So if I am going to turn the ignition on, there we go, it shows 12.3. This is my voltage of the front AGM battery under the hood. And why do we need voltmeters in our cars? They are super important, and in my opinion, everybody has to have one. Not necessarily this thing, even something like this is gonna help you quite a lot. Voltage in your car is the lifeblood of your system. The better the voltage, the more stable it is, the better your system will perform and the longevity of the system as well. So your amplifiers in general like good voltage. When you have a very powerful system, like probably most of you do, sometimes, most of the times, the factory electrical system can barely keep up with it. And that keep up, it will be defined by the voltage. A lot of times you can find on Facebook people complaining that, oh, my amplifier's cutting out and I have no idea why. Because you don't see the voltage. If you would see that your voltage is dropping below the threshold where the amplifier shuts down, you would know the actual reason why that is happening. Probably all amplifiers will work down to 10 volts, but if it drops lower than that, probably some are going to start cutting out. And without having a voltmeter, again, you're just guessing and you don't know. So voltmeter is a very simple little device that will show you how your charging system behaves, is your alternator charging, where your battery sits, how the lithium is charged, if it's not overcharged, because you can overcharge the lithium as well if you run it from the front and the front is charging, like, I don't know, some cars do charge at 15 volts. Without this, you would never know. So in order to avoid any problems that can be because of the voltage, a voltmeter, in my opinion, is a must-have device in every single system. Now, if you watched previous videos where we have the Honda Jazz upgrade project, now the problem in his system is that he doesn't really know how his factory electrical behaves with this system. So my advice was just to buy a voltmeter. So he recently bought one on AliExpress that he's gonna put in the cigarette lighter that he has there, and he's gonna observe, and then we're gonna decide if we need a second battery or it's gonna be fine as it is. So the question is now, why I have these two and why I'm not happy with these. When I'm driving, this is my kind of view, what I see. And the problem is that whenever I'm going on a highway on fifth gear, for example, I cannot see anything. So it is a good thing that I have them. They are useful. I did have a friend 3D print these little bezels and they look kind of factory, but the problem is that most of the time I cannot see them. So if I would have to relocate these, why not have something better? So I did reach out to LF Audio and I was just very blunt with the guy. I was like, would you be willing to sponsor my build with a voltmeter? I didn't promise a review for him. He didn't ask for one. And he sent me two. So he sent me a bigger one and a smaller one. So the smaller one is called HPVM and the bigger one HPVM Pro. The difference between these is the number of voltages they can display and measure. So let me very quickly take them out of the box just to show you how they look like. They come in this box, a different box for packaging. And inside, the only thing that we have is the actual voltmeter. And there's a plug. I don't have the plug because I have it at home already, because I'm gonna show you how this thing works, like literally on a bench with the actual voltage coming through them. And at the end of the video, we're gonna install them here somewhere, not sure where, and we're gonna see how they perform and how they behave. So this is the difference between the bigger version and the smaller version, like that. So it's like, it's not half the size, it's like maybe like 70% of the size. They do have LF Audio branding, high precision voltmeter. We have these mounting tabs on the side, again lfaudio.com, and later I'm going to show you the actual screen, but they have these inputs when you can have different things going into it, like if you want to measure different voltages for different things. So this one can display two different voltages, so it takes 12 volts remote, which 12 volts is measuring that 12 volts, and then there's the third pin that is called mesh, so that's a second input, and a ground. And the bigger one can measure 4 voltages, so it can display 4 different voltages. So for example, you can have this little thing with 2 voltages that would display your main battery in the front and your rear battery if you have a second one, for example lithium, in the back. This one, maybe you have, like me, a DC-DC charger. You want to see the voltage before the charger, after charger. Maybe you want to see a voltage on different amplifiers. Maybe you have another DC power supply for your accessories, and just if you want to observe much more voltages. However, this is just, even if you use it for 1 voltage, this is good because it has just big massive screen. So one thing before we put these things on the bench, these are not your typical voltmeters in a way that they're gonna show you like 3 numbers and it's gonna go up and down. These are called high precision voltmeters because these are literally lab grade things. They are calibrated using a lab grade voltmeter and they actually show the correct voltage out of the box. So you know, like how these, they do have adjustments. You can check it with the multimeter that if it shows not correct voltage, you can adjust it. These are probably better than the multimeters that I have. So without any further ado, let's put these on the bench and let's just see how they look like, what they can do, and why they cost what they cost. So first, I'm gonna give you a demonstration of how all of these things compare. So I have 3 multimeters, very different price ranges. This is, I think, is like 10, 12 pounds. This is like 30 pounds. And this is just a clamp for 30 pounds as well. So they are supposed to be the reference, our accurate measurements, but you can see that even they show a little bit different voltage. So this one is not even 12 volts. This is 1201. This is 1203. Now, this is a regulated power supply that I can change the voltage. I will do that a little bit later. But now we have our LF Audio meters showing exactly 12 volts, 12 volts. This, I have a few different voltmeters as well. This one you can buy it on AliExpress for probably like £1, £1.50. And on the back of it, there's a little screw where you can adjust the actual voltage if it doesn't match. Now, if we're gonna go lower or higher, obviously these voltages are gonna change. Okay, so if we're gonna go higher, let's say 15.5, let's try to find 15.5. LF Audio shows 15.5, 15.5. This one, 15.3. This one, 15.5, so this is correct. 15.53, 15.45. If you round it up, It kind of makes 15.5, but it is a bit different. And this one is correct as well. If we drop the voltage, let's drop it down to, let's say 8 volts. There we go, just a touch more. There we go, 801. This shows 8, this 8.1. So again, 0.1 volt. This doesn't show the correct voltage, correct, high up top. This down below. 805, this is 802, so this is 8. 804. So you can see that they show identical voltage, and I would really trust these compared to these. Now, for our purpose to have the voltage in the car, we don't need that precision. However, it's very nice to have it. One more thing that I want to show is the refresh rate of this thing. So with this knob, I can go, the voltage goes up and it goes down. And now look what's happening and how fast all these meters react to changing voltage. So you see these, I want to say this is the slowest one because obviously it has an LCD screen. These are a bit faster. I think this is the fastest one. From those meters, the blue one is just, it cannot keep up. It's just jumping every, I want to say maybe twice a second. That one is even slower than that. However, look at these. Look. Zing, 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 zing. It's just, this is where this voltmeter excels in the refresh rate. First of all, accuracy. Second of all, refresh rate, because when you want to measure like a dip in the voltage because of a bass note, you're gonna see that. And on these, look, you're not gonna notice it. You're not gonna even see it. And on this one, you're gonna see every single beat. So let's put all of these aside and let's zoom in on this one. And what I want to show you is basically how fast this thing is. So look, I'm touching the knob and you can see that it's reacting super fast. If I have a dip, you can see the dip in the graph and in the voltage. Now this thing, why I love it so much, not necessarily because of accuracy, not necessarily because of the refresh rate, but because of the customizability, if it's a word, how much you can customize it. When Android phones came out, I jumped on it straight away because I love customization. I love to customize every little thing about my phone, my laptop, my car, and this is the same. So let me show you something. Okay, so when you buy this thing and you connect it to power, it's gonna show this by default. And it's one of the favorite screens that this thing has. However, this voltmeter comes with an app. So if you go to any kind of Play Store or whatever, you can find a link for it. If you're gonna scan this barcode, it's gonna open a web page where it shows you where to download this program. And basically in this program, you have all the adjustments for this voltmeter. So by default, when you connect it, I do apologize for the phone. This is already cracked, so it's on its last legs, but it's gonna do well for this demonstration. If I make any of these adjustments, you can see that exactly the same we see in the app. Now in the app, if I'm gonna click on this, this is my voltmeter connected, and we have loads and loads of different settings. So here in the corner, if we're gonna go to the settings and here to the settings, we can choose a few different things how this thing looks like. So we can change the orientation. If you install it upside down, you change the orientation, and then we have quite a few different gauges how it looks like. So let's go through them. So this one is with a graph, where the graph goes up and down. The second one is just voltage, so it goes up and down, and what changes is the color. So we can see green is 15. If you go lower, goes orange, goes yellow, orange, and red. Next one is again graph with a reading on the top, and you have a scale here at the bottom. You have minimum voltage and maximum voltage. Then we have another one with a scale on the side. This one looks cool where it just goes like this with the circles, goes down and up. It's like very colorful thingy. Nice. Next one is this one, where you have just a gauge that goes like a speedometer. It looks cool. Now, one thing to note is that you can customize all the colors on any of these faces. This one, I think this one is similar to the more engineering. I think they have a voltmeter that looks something similar with this face. And you can see how fast it reacts. This one is quite nice. It goes up and down. And even the lettuce, even the color of the lettuce changes, if you can see. Red, orange, green. I like this one. This one is nice. It's like a floating UV meter that you had in old school. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, it looks nice. And then you have, as I mentioned on this one, you can connect 4 different devices to measure 4 different voltages. At the moment, it's just one, so we can see it's just only one reacts. But if you would have like front battery, rear battery, sub amplifier, I don't know, DC-DC charger or something, you would be able to see all of them. But this one is, I like this one because it shows the gauge, it shows the colors, and it shows the actual graph. Now, a few more things. We can change the decimal places, so we can just reduce it to 2, so 12.6. It's not as accurate, and we can go all the way up to 3 decimal places where you see the accuracy, how this thing measures. It's absolutely not necessary for us, but it's so cool. At the same time, we can adjust minimum and maximum voltage because, for example, my car charges up to 14.4, so I don't need to have it up to 16 volts. So I can have it, for example, maybe up to 15 volts only. And I know that I will never drop below 10, so I can adjust it from 10. So my gauge is from 10 to 15 volts. And again, you can customize it as you want. Then if we go here to colors, color pad, here we can adjust all the colors and the range for each color. So if I don't like the red or the green, for example, I want this instead of green, I want blue. Let's choose blue, confirm, and the last one you see changes into blue. I'm gonna do this, and can we do black? Let's try black. Black, confirm, see black. Like you can like literally fully customize anything that you want on this thing, and this is why I love it so much. Just reset to defaults with one click, goes back to default. I don't know, I love this thing, and look how fast it is. Like now how low and how high it can measure. It is on the specs, is it 16 or 18 volts? Because there was one guy on Facebook that was complaining that it doesn't do 18. Yeah, 18 volts, 5 to 18 volts. Let's try and see. Let's go down first. 7, 6, 5.2. Let's go lower. 4.9, still working. 4.9, 4.8. There we go. It reboots. Anything below that, this is 4 volts. It doesn't do anything. Let's go up to 5. Boots up again, 5 volts. So basically from 5 volts, well, 4.8 as it's rated. Just because I would imagine all the op amps inside and like the DC-DC stuff, it's working from 5 volts. And if we're gonna go to, can we go to up to 18? 14, 15, 16, I'm a bit scared, but okay. 17, yeah, higher than that. Yeah, we go 18, 18, 18. Okay, I don't want to go any higher than that because it is rated up to 18. Probably it would do more than 18, but again, I don't want to do that. So yeah, 5 to 18 volts holds perfectly fine, probably more than 18, but I'm not gonna dare to test it. And again, you have exactly the same functionality on your phone. So now let me try to install it in the car and see how it looks like in a real world scenario with actual music playing. Okay, I just want to show you all this mess and why I have this mess. So if you followed my build, you know that all the electrical stuff that's in the back, the lithium, is absolutely and totally separate from the front. This is the reason why I cannot use 1 meter to measure the front battery and the rear battery, because they do not share ground. So what I have this little one. The first one is connected. I have this relay. This relay is a very cool thing. I bought on AliExpress. It's like £10 probably. It's a 4-channel relay that is triggered with a remote wire. So the remote wire for this relay goes from the ignition from the car, and this positive and negative, the big ones, I took them from the power that they used to come to the cigarette light, which is like 20 amps, and I have 4 switchables. So I had them for LEDs and like other stuff that I need, like a phone charger, but at the moment I'm gonna use them for these voltmeters. So the small one, I will be measuring the front battery voltage. That's why I connected directly to this, which is going to show me the voltage of what's coming in, which is basically the car's voltage. So that's one. The second one I have a bit differently. The positive and negative, these 2 wires are coming directly from the lithium in the back. These 2 wires run in the back. And the remote wire, it's split from positive, and it goes through a relay. Where is it? This relay. And this relay is triggered from the ignition from the car. So basically the positive and the remote wire is just same thing. It's just split in half through a relay. And when the ignition is on, this relay connects, and it connects those 2 wires, and then this turns on. So let's very quickly put this to the test. I made the connections, and let's see if when I'm going to turn the ignition on, everything is going to go on. Oh, there are my keys. Okay, ignition on. 1 on, the second on. Cool. So 13.9 is the lithium in the back, and 12.4 is the front battery. Amazing. Let me put everything back together, and you can see this has lights as well. Let me put everything back together, and we're going to see how they behave. There we go. We have these meters installed. For the time being, I just put some double-sided sticky tape as a temporary solution. Later I'm going to figure out something. I just want to see what they do. So let's turn on the ignition, and let's see what it does. On. This one turn off. Okay, so we have 12.4, the front battery sitting, and lithium sits at 13.8. And we can see, yeah, so that was the dip when probably all the amplifiers turned on. And let's see, it's going down 13.7, because obviously the lithium, it's not being charged, so the voltage is going down because it was fully charged, and it's not going to hold at like for 13.8 because it is resting at 13.2. So slowly we can see a downward trend. It does go down. This one sits like this. In a minute or so, I should have DC-DC charger kick in. There we go. See? DC-DC charger kicked in. This battery goes down. This voltage goes up because DC-DC charger drops the voltage of the front battery because it's pulling the current, and it should charge up to 14.4. 14.37, and yeah, it plateaus. 14.4. 14.43. Yeah, so 14.4 it charges, and this one stays 12.2. Let's turn on the engine and see what it does and how it behaves. There we go. So we saw a massive dip here on the main battery, and now the alternator is starting to charge it. This lithium doesn't care because the DC-DC charger doesn't care what's happening, but there we go. 14.4, now it's charging. Ooh. So this is the alternator, and you can see how dirty the voltage is just bouncing up and down from the alternator. It's not going to be a relay. I might try to connect this voltmeter to some other source of voltage, maybe directly to the fuse box somewhere. But yeah, we can see this 14.4. So now let me turn off the car. Ignition on. There we go. Okay, so you can see this is dropping and this is slowly dropping. So now what I want to do, I want to play sine tones because obviously copyright music. Let's go for some higher frequencies, because I know higher frequencies draw more current. So 50 hertz. There we go, 50 hertz. Okay, it's playing. So let me turn off volume all the way down. We can see the volume. You won't be able to see everything, but I think you can hear it. So I'm turning on turning the volume up. There we go, 1.9. So yeah, this is from the DC-DC charger. Why the DC-DC charger went down, I wonder. Let's try again. Because so when the voltage of the lithium drops, the DC-DC charger is pulling more current from the front of the battery. That's why the front battery drops as well. So yeah, if there's a bass note, yeah, you can see every single bass note. This is a bit lower, 35 hertz, but you can see every single bass note. Now, let me try to find royalty-free music. Okay, I have it. YouTube, close, royalty-free music. I think let's try this one. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, you can see every single beat. Let's try the other song, this one. Yes, man, I love this thing. Like, that's the thing. This is absolutely not necessary, but for a geek such as I am, that loves data, that loves graphs, that loves to see this thing, this is something out of this world. And is it worth paying extra for such thing like this? If you want a product that is designed, manufactured and warranted in the USA, because this is nothing made in China. The guy basically does its own designs in CAD. He makes the PCBs, he assembles everything, and he sells everything from the US. This is a US product, and you will not find anything like this anywhere on the market. Like, when I think about why is he doing this, I don't understand, because like car audio market is very small compared to outside is typical UK weather, compared to like any other market. This is a precision device. This is not really a voltmeter for your base car. This can be used in a lab because it's so precise, it's amazing refresh rate, and it's fully customizable. Like, I think he's missing out marketing this in car audio, because he could probably not double, not triple, but like 10x the sales if he would market this as a precision device for, I don't know, hobbyists instead of like a multimeter, because this is an amazing thing. Now, yes, it is expensive. I think it's like $150, maybe like 200 without the discount. I'm not sure about the price, but man, I'm so excited. Look. Like, which voltmeter can do this? Like, man, I didn't think that it's gonna be so cool, and now it's gonna be bloody distracting, because when you're driving, probably I'm gonna be looking at this one most of the time, because I love this thing. And best of all, I can download the app into this Android head unit. I can customize everything from the head unit. I don't need a phone. I can watch it on the head unit. And oh man, it's so cool. LF Audio, if you're watching this, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. For all the other people Do you need this thing? No, you will be perfectly fine with something like this for a pound, $1 from AliExpress. But if you want something very, very cool that you would be staring at it all the time while you're listening to music, get one of these things. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.